The jury is now deliberating in the case of a former Clear Creek County deputy accused of shooting and killing Christian Glass almost 2 years ago. Thanks for joining us. It's 4 o'clock. I'm Tom Green.
And I'm Kim Christensen. The prosecution and defense made closing arguments in a Georgetown courtroom this morning in the second-degree murder trial of Andrew Buen. 9 News reporter Steve Steger was among the first reporters to actually bring us that body camera video of that shooting, and he has covered this case since the beginning. He was in the courtroom, and he's joining us right now. Steve?
Kim, the jury here got this case right around lunchtime, and they've been deliberating ever since then. There is no denying that body camera video, the video evidence, is the key piece of evidence in this case. And this morning, both the prosecutors and Buen's attorneys painted different pictures of what was actually going on in that video.
Christian, stop reaching for stuff, dude.
Christian Glass was upfront about the rock hunting knives he had in his SUV on a June night in 2022 when he called 911 after he got his car stuck. He told a dispatcher he'd throw them out the window when Clear Creek County Deputy Andrew Buen arrived. He told him the same.
Mr. Buen was the one that said, no.
No, do not throw them out. Do not touch them. Do not reach for them. I want you out of the vehicle now.
In court Wednesday morning, DA Heidi McCollum told the story of a deputy laser focused on getting Christian Glass out of his car when he had no legal reason to do so. She said Buen acted unreasonably when he eventually broke Christian's window, shot him with beanbag rounds, then tased him, which very quickly led to deadly force.
They were concerned that he might get out of the car and use the knife. But they wanted him out of the car. How could Christian win that night? Maybe the better question is, how could Christian live that night?
Buen's attorney, Carrie Slinkard, gave the jury a portrait of a different Christian Glass.
Christian Glass presented a threat. He had a deadly weapon in his hand.
She argued Glass was threatening another officer on the scene with a knife, justifying the shooting. And she said Buen had justification to break in because Christian wasn't following a lawful order to step out of the car, and that Buen suspected he may have been driving under the influence.
The bottom line is law enforcement officers are paid to fight crime. They are paid to prevent crime from happening. They are paid to apprehend people who have committed crimes. Period.
Two different stories.
Nobody wanted Christian to die that night. Action was taken in response to behaviors that put another man's life in danger.
Now in the hands of a jury.
I want you to listen to what Deputy Collins on the hood of the car says after he's shot. He says, "Oh God, what did we just do?"
Oh my God. What did we do?
Now, the jury of 10 women and 2 men will continue to deliberate until there is a unanimous verdict in this case. Obviously, there's no timeline for how long that might take. They could find Buen guilty of a lesser crime than second-degree murder, either manslaughter or criminally negligent homicide. It's up to their deliberations. We will continue to follow their deliberations throughout the course of the next few days here. Unclear what they're doing right now and if even what their schedule is right now. But for now, we're live in Georgetown. Steve Steger, 9 News.
Well, we certainly have gotten to know Christian's parents through this. They've been a big part of this story ever since he was shot. I imagine they've been in court throughout the trial?
They were in court. They were in court throughout the trial. They were there this morning. They listened to the prosecution's closing argument. They did walk out of the courtroom for the defense's closing argument, came back in for the rebuttal witnesses, and then eyewitness Sally Glass move out of that courtroom as quickly as possible. She spent much of this entire case with her hand in her head in her hands, just kind of in distress, listening to some of this testimony. She, again, has never watched the body camera video in this case. She doesn't know what it looks like. She doesn't want to see it, but she knows enough from her attorneys who've told her what happened and knows enough from the testimony she's heard so far. They are in town waiting for a verdict, just like we are.
Yeah, they really have. They've always kept Christian's name out there front and center, no matter what, throughout this whole process. All right, well, we'll wait and see what the jury says. As you said, many angles to consider. They've been listening to all this testimony for weeks. Thank you, Steve.